Hey guys, look what I've got. I got the Motorola Xoom tablet. Yeah, from 2011. So this is a throwback edition of Tech Reviews. So come join me. Hey guys, Garnie here, and look what I've got. I've got my Motorola Xoom tablet. That's not Z-O-O-M, it's X-O-O-M. And this was released back in March of 2011. And this was my very first tablet. Well, I take that back. This was my second tablet. I bought a knockoff tablet that was using, those cheap tablets that didn't run worth a darn. But that was my first foray in the tablets, and this was my first real production tablet that I bought. So this was distributed by Verizon, but made by Motorola, and it was called the Xoom. And it had support for LTE. So I want to thank GSM Arena for still keeping the stats about it. So let me read off some of those things about it. Released in 2011, has a 10.1 inch screen, hosting an 800 by 1200 display, about 144 pixels per inch on there. So not very dense, but it actually is a very clean screen. The processor was actually, let's see here, I think it was a dual core. Yep, it's a dual core, 1 gigahertz each processor running on it with an NVIDIA chipset. It had only a gig of RAM on here, and the storage was only 32 gigs. Now you had a 16, 32, and a 64 gig for internal storage version. This one here was a 32 gig edition. You do have expandability with a micro SD card slot that's here, and I'll show you that in a second. Has dual speakers on the back, had a front-facing 2 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel shooter on the back with a dual LED flash on the back end. It was first released with Android 3.0. Yeah, 3.0, and that was called Honeycomb. And then it was eventually released to Jelly Bean, which was version 4. And version 4 was the last time they updated the OS on the Xoom out there. The beauty of this thing is it still works, it's still great. Obviously, it's not connected to the Verizon network or anything else anymore, but I still use this tablet today. This baby weighs 1.6 pounds. Yeah, it's a heavy device. Holding it up like this for this video is making my arm tired, but that way I can get a workout for my left arm here. It's 1.6 pounds, minus any case or anything else like that. But the reason why is that it had a great screen, it had a great quality glass, scratch resistant. I do have a cover on there, but I took care of this thing. The glass was recessed just enough to where the actual body was actually raised above the glass, so you didn't get any chipping or anything at that time. It's an all metal design, so across the edges and on the back it's brushed metal on the back, but it feels very nice. It doesn't slip, and even though it does pick up some fingerprints, it's not a glossy metal, so you can actually grip it and it feels comfortable and not slip out of your hands. One of the interesting aesthetic designs with this I want to bring up is its beveled edges. Here, let me see if I can turn it. Hopefully you can see this beveled edge on the top there near my hat. Basically what happens here is that the device was weighed enough to where if you lay this thing flat on the table, you didn't have any rocking, which was amazing, but at the same time, I can actually lay this flat and the edges are raised just enough around the edges that I could pick this up from the table without having to slide it. One of the biggest challenges I have with my iPad and Air 2 pads and my Nexus 9 and things like that is that when I laid it flat on the table without a cover, I've actually had to slide it to the edge of the table to lift it up. And I thought it was genius of how they designed this with a slightly beveled edge to where if I laid this down on the table without a case, I could comfortably pick this up and not worrying about dropping and slipping or having to use fingernails to lift it up off the table. I just wanted to bring that out. I'm sorry to belabor this, but that was really, really neat. Again, with a 2 megapixel camera up front, really wasn't great for video shooting, but in 2011, that was a great addition to that. Has a 3.5 millimeter jack, audio jack on top. The power button is here on the side. This is a black dimple here on that side. The volume rockers are on the side, and as you can see here, you have 2 speakers on the back. That sounded great. Now, what am I using this still for? You're like, Garnie, I mean, that's 2011 technology. Come on, boy, catch up. I mean, it's 5 years old, right? Well, the thing is, I was really impressed with, and this is when I really got into the community of Android. I started going out there and doing, working with ROMs, because when they stopped updating the Xoom, and they stopped updating the Motorola Droid that I was using way back in the day, I wanted to keep those devices because they were great quality devices, and it just proves here, because this device is still running, even though it's a dual core 1 gigahertz processor and running right now because of the community. Thank you, Elemental X, for creating a mod or a ROM for this. I've actually got 4.4 running on here, Android version 4.4, so it's relatively okay. And it still works very well with the device. In fact, I can watch YouTubes, I can still take pictures, and in fact, I use this mainly for Spotify, to where I actually have this set up on a tripod, not a tripod, an actual stand, a Motorola base stand that's sitting in our bathroom, to where this is playing music while we're taking showers and things like that, which is pretty cool. It is a wonderful device. And what's neat about this is that the nostalgia of great quality devices that were created back then that still last even today. Now, I've got to go dig through my electronics box and try to find my original Motorola Droid phone. I think I did find it. I remember seeing it last year. I just need to dig it out again. But I wanted to do that. But, you know, it's just really great to see that the battery still works in this thing. It's got great, you know, it's strong, and it's... You know what? It still works. It's not up to Android 5.0 or even 6.0. That's okay. And as long as version 4 of Android still works on this baby, I'm happy with it. So, oh, by the way, there was also a SD card slot, a micro SD card slot, that this morning when I pulled this thing out, I was like, holy moly, I still have a 8 gig card in here. I didn't realize that. Just hope I don't have any emails on there. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But it was just great to know that I could pull this baby out. She still works great, and I've got the Google Now launcher running off of this thing, so I can actually fire up Google Now and get some information and things like that off of this baby. So yeah, she still works great, guys. I'm totally impressed with it. Would I recommend this to anybody? Well, not today, because it's older technology. But back then, boy, I shared this with everyone. And in fact, many a times it replaced my laptop at the time, because you remember, we were using Microsoft XP and all of that, and huge laptops. Yeah, I was taking this with me to replace a lot of the stuff I was doing. So anyway, guys, I thought I'd just share this. I hope you enjoy this, a trip down memory lane, at least for me. I still have fond memories of this thing. This baby, she still works for me. She's still of good quality, and I appreciate the fact that, you know, Spotify is running on this baby, and I can enjoy the music in our bedrooms and bathroom while we're taking care of business. So anyway, guys, I hope you're having a great day. If you like what you're seeing, or if you know anyone who had a Motorola Xoom, or any renditions of the Xoom tablets, even the Xoom 2 and all that, share this video with them, because it's kind of neat going down memory lane. And if you're new to my channel and things like that, I don't do historic stuff all the time, but you know, hit that subscribe button, because we're always looking for new friends to join us on this journey and have a great time to talk about technologies and whatnot. So until then, guys, we'll have, well, you know what? Just have a great day, and we'll talk to you on the other side. Peace.